So this is the list of things that I love about this camera and what I don't like about the camera. The first thing that I really love about the camera is how portable it is. This thing is so small and is very light. One time I put it in my pocket just throughout the day just to test it out, and it wasn't really a big deal. Slightly bulky in my pocket, but at one time I totally forgot it was in my pocket because I'm so used to how big modern phones are. So just the portability of this camera is what I love so much about it. The second thing that I really love about the camera is how easy it is to use it. Canon makes it super simple just to understand the menus, to navigate through them. Of course, it's going to be a little hard to understand when it's your first time, but you'll get the hang of it and you'll pick it up and it's no problem at all. The third thing that I really love about this camera is the built-in ND filter, especially if you're shooting outside and it's really bright. Like today, you can kind of see how bright it is back there. Just having that ND filter, and since this lens right here doesn't have any thread to put on, you know, your own ND filter, the ability just to click a button and turn it on and off whenever you need it or want it, really cool. I really like that about this camera. And the fourth thing I really love about this camera is the flip out LCD screen. So right now I have it flipped up and I'm just checking my composition, checking that the lighting is good. Perfect for vlogging. This is literally the reason why I like this camera. Back when I got my first camera, it was the Canon T5. I didn't know anything about cameras. It didn't have a flip out screen and I wanted to make videos just like this. Now I'm not saying that you won't make good videos without it. It's just cool to have, just to flip out, check your composition, check the lighting, check to see if you're in focus, stuff like that. And one thing I really love about this camera, this is my trusty Canon 77D. Right here, it has a dial. You may know what it is and you may not know what it is. When I go through my photos, you can just use that dial just to go through all your photos. And you might be thinking, why is that even a feature that you like so much? Well, I use it from an aperture. So I'm always constantly scrolling around for the aperture that I want. Sometimes cameras have buttons where you have to like click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. The ability just to have the scroll wheel like that and easily go back and forth pretty quickly, I love that. And it's on the G7X Mark II. That's crazy. Most cameras don't even have that. Like I was checking out the R8. That's a big drawback for me. I really want my dial. And the Canon R8 does not have one. And here we are, not even a crop sensor camera. This is a 1-inch sensor camera. If it's not a deal breaker for you, if you don't really care about it, don't even worry about this segment of the video. It's just something I really enjoy and like to have and want in my cameras. And now we get to the things that I don't like about this camera. And there's not really a lot. So there's only two things that I really don't like about this camera. The first thing is there's no mic input. That's such a deal breaker for me, especially when you're outside filming. You got that wind noise coming in, you got the traffic, you got people around you with the chatter. Now the onboard mic is pretty good. I mean, you're listening to it right now, but I'm in my room. There's not really much background noise. You might hear the people outside mowing the grass. You might hear my family in the background chattering a little bit. If you're just making videos like I am right now inside of a office or studio, I think this will be a really good option for you. If you're on the run and go and you're outside, you might get a lot of chatter, a lot of background noise. So not having a mic input is a really drawback, but the newer version of this camera does have an onboard mic if you want to spend the extra and upgrade to that one. And the second thing that I don't really like about this camera, I mean, I'll give it some credit. It is about 7 years old, but the autofocus is slightly slow and sometimes it haunts a little bit to try to find focus. Sometimes I have to tap the screen, especially if I were to go out of frame and then back in frame. See how it's just not really tracking my face? It's tracking my face, like there's a box around my face right now. There it goes, now it's in focus. So that's the only problem. I've even updated the software on this camera and hoping for it to be improved, but it didn't really improve. And oddly enough, don't think that the upgraded version of this camera, the Mark III, will help in any way. It actually doesn't. I've watched a couple of videos comparing the two. It seems that the Mark II is actually on top of the autofocus than the Mark III. You can check that out yourself and research that. But if you're like me and you research and you watch a lot of videos and maybe the autofocus doesn't really seem like it's a deal breaker for you to stay away from this camera, like it's still really good. It tracks. It's just a little slow. Like it's still pretty good in focus. I mean, you know, I'm moving around and on the screen on the monitor up here it shows a box. It's tracking my face pretty good. But when you step out of frame and then you come back in, okay, see, that time it was really good. I don't know, it's just something that I don't like about the camera. There's only two things that I really don't like about the camera, and it's those. The no mic input and the slow autofocus. But other than that, I I really like this camera, and I think you should check it out. If you have one of these in the drawer, you should pull it out and play around with it. Make some videos, take some photos, go outside with it. Okay, this is the end of the video. I will stop rambling on. This has just been my experience with it. I'm sharing it with you all. If you enjoyed the video or it's helped you in any way, tap that subscribe button, leave a comment below, and hit the like button to let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.